Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our weekly show, a reaction show. Yeah, I haven't done one of these in a while, and we just find out that not just found out, we have known now that Thomas Tuchel has been sacked by Chelsea, and it's a bit surprising. It's a bit surprising because I said it yesterday in the shorts video that I did that they Chelsea are in trouble. But not the sort of trouble that you would think, well, Chelsea are not going to be knocked out of the Champions League just yet. They've still got 5 games to go. And they did beat West Ham, controversially, but they did beat them over the weekend. So, it's not like, that they're losing every game. So it's a little bit surprising. And, there are reports that that a decision was made even before the Zagreb game, that they'd already decided they were going to sack him, which always kind of surprises. That's a little bit, it always tenses me up a little bit, that sort of report, because it just kind of seems, well, it just kind of seems facetious. It's almost to say, well, no, they wouldn't have mattered. The result is not, that it's almost like owners are trying to say that it's not a knee-jerk reaction when it probably is. And so to me, that's kind of a little bit surprising. As well, keep in mind, if they decided to do it before, the transfer window has just closed and they've spent a massive amount of money for him. So what made them decide to sack him was that because he did beat West Ham. It's not like they lost to West Ham; they did beat West Ham. So what exactly was the tipping point of sacking him? And when they'd already spent so much of money, and they were trying to sack him. And the fact is that they've just won a game and not exactly had a terminal defeat in the Champions League. So there are things that are not that are sort of coming out, and it's news always comes out, and you always have to think as to who's feeding that news, who's leaking that stuff, who's the one who's giving that stuff out. And to me, like there's been reports that apparently Tuchel and Boehly didn't get along, they were not talking. Boehly wanted to sign Cristiano Ronaldo, Tuchel refused, and that upset the owner because he really wanted Cristiano Ronaldo to come to the club. And when you have these sort of situations, then yes, it does become difficult for a relationship to survive. I do feel there was a little bit of naivety in the transfer market from Chelsea. I think there was a lot of work that Boehly had taken on for himself. There was a lot of work that Tuchel had been delegated to. So there probably would have been a lot of stress and a lot of clash of heads there. Results have not helped. I think that we have to be clear on that the results have not helped. But when you spend that much amount of money on players like Aubameyang and Fofana, Zakaria has come in as well on loan. So brought new players. You've got to give him at least 3 or 4 games just to be able to see, like, can he integrate these new players into the squad? They haven't given him that time. He's literally had 1 game with his new signings. They've lost that one, and they've just said, "Yeah, okay, bye, see you." So it makes me think that they probably have a replacement lined up, and that then brings the question as to who's next, right? It's like almost like Goldberg, is it who's next? But who's next for Chelsea? You normally don't make a decision like this unless you know who you're bringing in next. And I think they've already made that their minds up as to who's coming in next. And that to me seems to be the only reason that he's been sacked. There's also talks that the players were unhappy with Tuchel, and as a United fan, that always hurts me when I hear those kind of things, because to me it's like, well, why are the players why are the players the ones who are trying to influence decisions, right? The player's job is to play, you do your thing. You don't worry about who's the manager and who the manager is picking and what he's doing. You just do your job. But for some reason these days, I think players have a lot of influence and a lot of power as to who they it's almost like they want to decide who manages them and how he manages them, as opposed to doing just listening to the manager and doing the job that needs to be done. So that is a little bit sad as well. But I think that brings us to the question of who's going to be the next manager for Chelsea. And I mean, it's a divisive one, isn't it? I think there are lots of people who would like Graham Potter. Selfishly, I would say I don't want Graham Potter at Chelsea, because I think he's a good manager, and Chelsea might just do better. And as a rival fan, you don't want your rival to get a good manager. The thing about Graham Potter is, I mean, I've always felt that English managers need to go abroad. Like, they need to go abroad. The Premier League top six is just too cutthroat. I don't think Potter is going to work at Chelsea, not because he's a bad manager, but because the patience is not going to be there. I mean, we've seen it now with the owner. He's very trigger happy. So is he going to give Graham Potter the 2 or 3 years that he needs to really build a team? That's the thing, right? When you're at a mid-table club, as long as you keep them stable, you get time. You don't get that at a big club like Chelsea. Chelsea are going to want to build for the future, but they're going to want to build for the present as well. We saw that with Eric Ten Hag as well. So he's going to have to find a way to get results in the short term with the team that's not his team, with the team that is too unbalanced or imbalanced. They've got too many defenders, they've got too many, they've not got enough strikers, maybe not got enough midfielders, maybe. So he's going to have to build something quickly because he's going to have to get results in the short term while thinking about how he's going to build in the long term. So that I don't know if Potter can manage that. And so therefore, I feel right now he's got a good thing going at Brighton. He's got to stay there. Maybe if he wants to make the step up, he's got to think about. I feel Potter should try to go abroad before he goes to a big six club because that pressure there is immense. So he's got to try to go abroad maybe. But sometimes the lure is a lot. I mean, being a manager, an English manager for a big Swiss club doesn't happen a lot. I think Lampard is the only other one who's managed to do it in the last few years. I don't think anybody else. Rodgers, I think, and Lampard are the only two British managers in the top six clubs for a long, long time. I don't think, I can't remember the last time that any of the big six clubs had a British manager since post Ferguson, aside from Lampard and Rodgers. So it is a big lure, and it is a big moment of prestige to be able to say that. So I think Potter might be tempted by that, but I hope he says no. The other option, and I think the more realistic option for Chelsea is Pochettino. And the reason for that, I think, is because again, you've got to look at the point that they're trying to secure a big name. If you sack the manager this quickly, it means you already identified someone you want to take over. You don't generally identify Graham Potter because he's at Brighton. Now he's got a release clause and you've got to talk to him, but you don't generally talk to him after you sack the manager. You talk to him before you sack the manager, and the only person that they can do that with is Mauricio Pochettino. So for me, I feel like it's tilting towards Pochettino. But is he the right manager for Chelsea? Probably not. He's not. I just don't think Pochettino is a big name, is a big manager, like a big club manager anymore. I think this time at Spurs, towards the end, what happened there, this time at PSG, I think has exposed his limitations. So I'd be surprised if Chelsea went for him, but they might decide to go for him because they might think, well, this is a big name guy. He's managed in the Premier League before. He's just come off of managing PSG, winning titles with PSG. So they might look at that and go, yeah, he's a good fit. So that is an opportunity. That's an option. But I think those are the realistic ones. There's some people have mentioned other names as well. The Desco and other guys as well. Zidane as well. I don't think those are happening. It's not happening because those are not. Zidane's not coming to Chelsea. He's gonna want to manage. He's waiting for the France job. So I don't think that's gonna happen. If he didn't go to PSG, he's not going to Chelsea. Like that, let's just be clear on that. So so I think those are the top two front runners for me, and I'd be surprised if there was anybody else who was appointed aside from these two. But for me, I think Chelsea might. I mean, I'm sure the prospect of Potter is tempting. I hope Potter rejects them for the sake of his own career. I hope he rejects them. But and for that reason, I feel like Pochettino is a likely appointment. But we shall see what happens. On Tuchel, I mean, there's a lot there. Won the Champions League with Chelsea. There's a lot of good stuff. I think the football at the end got a little bit negative, and I think we have to point that out as well. As much as the decision is shocking, as much as it is knee-jerk, as much as probably going to be in more time, the reality is the results have not been good for a while. The performances have not been good for a while. And while it might have been coming anyway, I think the timing sucks, but I think the decision was not something that was entirely unexpected because I think it was coming. And it was going to happen at some point. You just felt like things were unraveling. So anyway, all the best to Tuchel. I hope he does well. Let me know in the comments. What did you think about Tuchel's reign at Chelsea? Do you think the sacking was deserved? Do you think things could have been handled differently? Let me know what you think. Most always love to hear from you guys. Do remember to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, follow us on Facebook. Always appreciate your support. We're getting close to 200 subscribers, so please do subscribe so you can help us reach that milestone. And of course, we're going to do a couple more videos today as well, post Champions League games. So do subscribe so you can go and get notified as soon as those videos drop. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye.